Hello, guys. This is Erica from Tech Nerds World, and today I want you to learn from my experience. A lot of people want to know how I went from trapped in a homeless hustle. You can check out my story to breaking into tech. So today I'm going to talk about my experience, right? And I'm going to give you some tips through my journey, right? And I want you to learn from my experience. Don't be like me when breaking into tech. So today we're going to talk about topics such as, mindset, clarity, research, um, interview, salary, ghosting, culture fit, networking, and boot camps, right? So I want to talk about all those great things. Um, don't um, don't be like me when you break into tech and learn from my experience again. So I'm going to give you a couple tips. The first thing that I have learned from this, right, is to change your mindset, right? Like for me, I was thinking about breaking into tech is like getting into the NFL, right? It's literally hard and it's not easy, right? So basically, it's 24 people on the team and they only need 12 people on the field. So what makes you so different? So again, it's not easy and it's not fast. So again, don't be like me. And I just wanted to break into tech and use my skills. And I didn't do any research on the particular role that I wanted. I didn't update my resume to the particular role that I wanted. I didn't update my LinkedIn to any the tech roles that I had. I wasn't doing any networking and I didn't upgrade none of my skills, which means that like if I wanted to be a software engineer, I didn't upgrade my skills. I didn't know what to do, right? So don't be like me and think that, it's easy to get into tech. Um, 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 it's like easy, right? It's basically like being in the NFL, 24 people, it's on a team, but 12 people can be on the field. And what makes you so different? So don't be like me with the mindset and thinking it's going to be super easy. The next thing I want to talk about is the tech clarity, right? Don't be like me and mess up your opportunity chats and pre-screens and introductions and by not understanding the roles that you're seeking for, right? I remember I wanted to get a role for customer success and software engineer and also recruiting roles, right? Don't be like me and mess up your pre-screens and your opportunity chats and your introduction chats, but not knowing exactly what you wanted to do in tech. Again, I wanted to be a software engineer because I learned how to code. Then I wanted to be customer success because I love customer success. I love onboarding and all that good stuff. And then also I wanted to be a recruiter. So through my clarity, I learned that all right, let me be a recruiter. I noticed that recruiting is about what metrics, and I can also do like the customer success side. Why? Because it's basically like the onboarding, and then with the coding, I'm always talking to software engineers and talking about the projects day on and day out. So I realized that I wanted to be a recruiter. So don't be like me and have different roles that you don't know, that you want to get into software engineer, recruit, and then customer success. Figure out exactly what you want to do because at the end of the day, um, you will mess up your pre screens and opportunity checks as well. The next thing I want to talk about is research and finding out your why, right? So again, for me, don't be like me, and didn't have a real reason of why I wanted to get into the tech world. I know that I have transferable skills. I know that I was uh, I learned how to code, and I know that I love recruiting as well. But what was the real reason why I wanted to work at the particular tech company and why was did I wanted to pivot into the tech industry as well. So figure out your why. The only downfall about the research and figuring out the why with the company is that you will get really attached to the company. So, say for example, the company name is Car Stretch, right? And you really get to understand about the why, you understand about the mission statements and all that good stuff. But then later on, you don't get the job, right? Don't get so attached and don't think that you know what I mean, your why is still not valid, to the next company. So don't get attached to that. So the next thing I want to talk about. So again, today, guys, I want you to learn from my experience. Don't be like me when you break into tech, and learn from my experience. I literally came from this and I broke into tech. So hopefully you can learn through my struggles and figure out what you want to do and don't do as well. So the next thing is, which is really big as well in this tech world, is to find a career coach, right? The right one. So don't be like me. I really wanted to get into tech, and I noticed that there were a lot of career coaches out there, helping individuals like me to break into tech. Just be mindful that some of the career coaches charge, from $800 to $1,000, and also be mindful that some of the career coaches don't have the real technical experience, which means on the back end, so they don't know the day to day in process how it goes for a typical person that's working into the tech industry. So be aware of the type of career coaches that you hire, because again, it is between $800 to $1,000. And also, if you do find a career coach that is working in the tech industry, also be mindful that they will charge from $800 to $1,000 as well. So those are some of the things I did not know. Don't be like me and just finding different career coaches and just spending a whole bunch of money, and then I really did get the results at the end, or just spending a whole bunch of money too as well, when you just could have took out the time and hire someone that actually been in the field. So I see some comments here. Let me stop here. I just had an interview at the IT department in my company, and I hope that I didn't mess it up. That's pray that you did not mess it up. No, you did not. I hope that you researched the company. I hope that you have the skills that go along with that. Of course, you do. I hope that your resume is has the correct skills as well. I hope your LinkedIn is intact. I hope that you was really excited in the interview, and it sounds like you have that in the bag. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. But don't learn from me. Don't be like me, and just learn from my experience. Okay. So the next thing I'm gonna do is talk about the referrals. Okay, guys. So with the referrals, right? Don't waste your time reaching out to every recruiter, right? I used to literally reach out to every single recruiter. And 9 times out of 10, just because a recruiter is working at that particular company, don't mean they are specifically hiring for the role that you are seeking for, or they might not even know the recruiter that is even seeking for candidates for that role. So what happens is you reaching out to numerous of candidates, and you're reaching out to numerous of recruiters, right? But they're not even recruiting for that role, and they don't have any type of connections to that person to get you forth um, in line. So, with that being said, a lot of times with LinkedIn, the recruiter who posts the job description, they will put their name right there under the job description. So you can easily click on the recruiter name who posted job description, right? And literally send a message. Hi, I noticed that you have this role opening, etc., etc. I have this background and experience. Please check out my LinkedIn and my resume. It's really that simple. Don't be like me and just reaching out to all the different recruiters, and then just later realizing that they're not even hiring for that role. Next is I'm going to talk about interviewing in the free time, guys. Listen here. Don't be like me and almost lose like your job, your housing, and everything to break into tech. Because I do want you to know that in tech, there's numerous interviews that comes along with breaking into tech. So don't be like me and about to lose your job and about to lose your housing and everything because you are interviewing for these tech companies. Mind you, there are 4 to 5 interviews per tech company. So if you are working from a 9 to 5, please make sure that you have some free time because they will want you to interview today at 2 o'clock, tomorrow probably at 7, or based on your availability, right? So again, they are in a desperate need to hire individuals, so you don't want to spread your interviews um, that so far apart. So with that being said, is um, now the days is to work it remotely, right? So please make sure that your background is suitable as well. Again, if you are working a 9 to 5 job, yes, you will have to take some PTO off. Yes, you will have to take some sick time off. And you might just have to just take days off because you literally have to take between 4 to 5 interviews. Okay. And I'm coming talking from experience. I literally lost my housing, my job, everything from just interviewing with multiple tech companies and just taking off the PTO time and all that good stuff. Okay. Next thing is I will love to talk about the salary. So most of the time, I was very intimidated when it comes to the salary as well as the title. Don't get intimidated by the title. If you have the qualifications, if you have the experience, go ahead and apply for the role. I was very intimidated by the title. I was very intimidated by the salary. And don't lowball yourself. It's up to you to do the research, right? On a salary based on your location. So don't allow a recruiter to come up to you and tell you the salary and you get mad because you didn't do your research. Do your research so that way you won't lowball yourself, right? And you won't be intimidated by the titles as well. And this is from my experience as well. Um, Ghosting. Let's talk about ghosting, guys. So ghosting. Don't be like me, right? And get super depressed when you are ghosted after the interview. Because, like I told you guys before, I had numerous of interviews opportunities and going through 4 to 5 different stages, right? And nobody called me back. And I literally was so depressed. I wanted to give up and all that different things. But I noticed that this is one of the tech the tech industry's culture. I've noticed that ghosting is one of a thing, and I have noticed that being inside, that a lot of the times recruiters can't tell you why you don't qualify for the role, right? So, from my experience, by being ghosted, I just keep chucking it on, and I feel like that is part of the tech culture, and just don't get depressed. Okay, and I also have learned that just to ask about the interview process and stages. Right, I'm always asking, okay, hi, is this process 3 to 4 stages, etc. So that way, if they don't call me back on the second interview, the second round, then I know that okay, I didn't probably get the job. If I'm all the way to the fourth interview, then I'm like, okay, I should maybe get the job, but never think that you have the job just because you're at the fourth round. Okay, so I hope that helps, especially with the ghosting and help with your heart. um, the culture fit is really big, guys. Don't be like me, right? And this is a real thing. Don't be like me and get invited to like a opportunity chat, coffee chat, and wear a full blown suit and tie, guys. I wear a full blown suit and tie to this tech company, and I can tell I was very out of place. Everyone was definitely just looking at me all weird and whatnot. So for me, as far as the culture fit, um just don't be like me. Figure out exactly what the culture fit is. If that takes for you to look at websites, if that takes for you to go on networking events, right? To see what type of culture and type of clothing do they that they wear. If that takes for you to do coffee chats and ask them the type of culture it is and type of the environment. My last company that I was working with, which is Meta, the reason why I really love their environment because it was definitely laid back. I can bring myself um, uh, in full capacity, right? I can actually be myself. I didn't literally have to dress in a suit and ties. So just think about that with the culture fit. Look at the websites. Do some coffee chats. Ask them what's the attire. If you have to ask that, ask because I've asked. Um, and just last but not least, um, just be who you are. A company will definitely accept you one day, but just be who you are. Next, I would love to talk about networking, right? Networking and stay connected. So a lot of the times you might interview with a tech company, right, and a recruiter, and you have noticed that today she's working at Star Stitch, and then tomorrow she's working at uh, Metaverse or whatnot. Don't get so attached to the recruiter in the company. 9 times out of 10, recruiters bring their friends with them to another company. So never get so attached to the company or the recruiter. Stay connected with the recruiter. Be friends with the recruiter because just because I'm working here today don't mean that I will be working here tomorrow. I'll be working at a different company as well, and that's including all the um, people in tech. And like I said, they bring their friends with them. Referrals is the number one key in the tech industry. So I see a comment, guys. Thank you so much. Yes, of course. This is why I am here to help you. Don't be like me, maneuver through some of my experiences, right? That's all I want you to do is to maneuver through some of my experience and be able to land a great job in tech. And last but not least, guys, I want to talk about the boot camps as well and courses. Don't be like me and didn't do no research on the boot camps, right? I learned that most of these boot camps are between 80 to 100K, the ones that I was trying to attend here in the Bay Area. I noticed that there are also free boot camps and courses too as well. That will take a percentage out of your salary, etc. But this is the part where you need to do your research. Do you want to pay a company up front? I don't know, the 60 to 100K, or do you want to go to a boot camp to where they take percentage out your salary, right? Or do you want to just learn on your own and attend like W3 schools or Code Academy or something like that. But also just be mindful when you do a boot camp, right? They have some boot camps that charge between 80 to 100K. And then they also have some boot camps, right, that will take a percentage out of your salary, or you can learn on your own. Don't be like me and didn't do the research and apply for a boot camp. And they were asking me for 60K. Another one was asking for 80K, etc. Um, so don't be like me and didn't do your research. Now you up there and didn't know. And then last but not least, guys, don't give up. Okay? Don't give up. Right now, as we speak, it's only 2% of people of color in tech. Only 2%. We need you. Diversity and inclusion is needed, okay? And you do belong. The roles need to be fulfilled, right? You have the experience, you have the knowledge. Don't be like me. Some of the things that I did when I broke into tech, I hope you can maneuver through those, my experiences, and continue to grow and land your dream job in tech. Again, this is Erica from Tech Nerds World giving you the series so that way you can learn from my experience. Not to be like me when you break into tech, but what be better. And I'm checking out on one, two, and three. And before I check out, I do have any comments. Okay, Robert said Java for Dummies is 12.99. Yes, you got Java for Dummies, that 12.99. Matter of fact, I got some Java book here that I was reading. I will also give you a series about free, right, free websites to learn how to code. I literally have 100 free websites that you can literally learn how to code. But again, it's up to you. Do you want to go through the boot camp and pay the 80 to 100K? Mind you, you have to learn between what, 6 to 7, 8 months, and it's typically from Monday through Saturday, from 9 to 6. Do you have that time? Or also, do you have the time to go to a boot camp to where they're taking out a percentage of your salary? Again, you will probably have to delegate that time. Or do you have the time to, learn on your own? You always have the time. You just pick and choose. But the number one goal is to never give up. Don't be like me and wanted to give up at one moment because of the lack of diversity, the inclusion, the equality, all of that. I don't care about that, right? Let's break into tech and figure out how we can land our dream jobs. And this is Erica from Tech Nerds World. I hope that I answered all you guys' questions. I hope that you learned from my experience and I answered all you guys' questions as well. Have a great day.